So here we are, my first ever electric car and first ever charging. Here we're going to Electrify America charging station. It's I believe it's 100 kilowatt hour charging. I picked up this car about 2 days ago, and this is my first charge ever. Let's back it up. I'm getting used to this gears. Let's see, no one's here. Okay, I'm going to back it up over here. Actually, the charger's on the other side, so I'm going to back it up into the other spot. Sorry, I'm used to driving the internal combustion engine. So since picking up this car, drove 152.3 miles at about 3 kilowatts, 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Mix of city, I live here in New York City, mix of city and highway driving. We drive daily for about like 50 miles. So let's see how this charging goes here at Electrify America. So as I was saying, this car can do 350 kilowatt per hour, but it's rainy, 52 degrees. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Here, to open the charge port over here, you press in. For some reason, I've been having issues with this. I've tried to open it. You really, for some reason, have to press hard on it. It's really windy. Looks like I have to go on this side to set this up. It says plug in first. Okay. So let's go plug in first. The cable. So I forgot to do this. Have to open this. Open it up. This cable can be come on. There we go. Wait for it to click in and then come back over here. It says connecting to vehicle. Open up the app here and we select which charger we're on. It says up to 150 kilowatt hour, no 350 kilowatt hour charger. This is charger number, I believe it's 4. Can't tell. 04, yeah. That's 02. Yep, so it's number 4 on the app. And swipe to charge. This car comes with 2 years and up to 30 minutes of level 3 charging and up to 1 hour of level 2 charging, I believe. So let's see. It's ramping up. The car's plugged in. And we shall see what speed we're getting. So as you can see, it's free for the first 30 minutes. Just gotta connect it. Continue. And we are at 50 kilowatt per hour, 60 kilowatt per hour, and going up to 74, 76, and I'm just staying there for now. And let's see how long it takes. It says 70-minute to 80%. I'm only going to charge up to 80%. Hopefully this goes up to 120 kilowatts per hour. I have seen in the other videos where using a 150 kilowatt per hour can get you up to 120, but right now it's 65. It's about 50 degrees outside and 10 degrees Celsius, so 64 kilowatt per hour, not ramping up, still 64 kilowatt per hour. So still, I'm gonna give it a minute or so. If it doesn't ramp up the speed, I'm going to change it over to a different charger and see if we can get the speed that we want. So here we are. We've been charging for about a couple of minutes now, and let's see what the speed is. I don't have a home charger, so I rely on this Electrify America. I was betting on it. It actually dropped down to 50 kilowatt per hour, 60, and it doesn't seem to be charging up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug it, plug it into a different stall, and see if that fixes the issue. So I have moved my car and plugged it into the charger number 1 up here, and let's see how it goes and what kind of speeds we get over here. I just heard it's charging, it's clicking in. I hear the cooling ramping up. We're up to 70 kilowatt per hour, kind of just staying there. I was driving the car in eco mode, so I'm not sure if the battery is cold. The temperature is dropping, it's about like 9 degrees Celsius or around about like 50 Fahrenheit. So we're still at 64 kilowatt per hour. And this is disappointing. You know, for a car that can do up to 350 kilowatt hour, we're at a 150 kilowatt per hour CCS charger, and we're only at 54 kilowatt per hour. I'm gonna give it some time and see if we can get it um, up to its at least 100 kilowatt per hour. Maybe the battery just needs to take some time to heat up. But as I mentioned before, I don't have a home charging solution. I live in the New York City area, live in an apartment, and I cannot charge this car at home. So I rely on the fast charging network. So far, my first charge, what I'm seeing is 54 kilowatt per hour, 60, it's ramping up to 72, 74, 80. Okay, we're getting there, 92, 95, 102, okay, 105. So it looks like the battery took some time to ramp up. Now this car is rated to do 10 to 80% in 18 minutes at a 350 kilowatt hour charger. Now, unfortunately, none of the chargers are 350. They're all 150, and there are 4 of them. This is in a TJ Maxx, and let's see. It's been charging for a minute right now, and it's at 109 kilowatt per hour. So we'll check in a few minutes. So here inside the car, as you can see over here, it's doing 102 kilowatts. It went as high as 110. So and it stayed there for about 30 seconds and it dropped out to 102. Maybe the battery got a little too hot, or I'm not sure why it wasn't sustained, but it looks like it's staying at 100 kilowatt, 102, and projected time to go to 80% in 13 minutes. Now, I am curious to test something, is turning on the car, or at least the heating, and see how that impacts the charging. But that's for another test, and I will test that when I charge it up again. Um, the screen kind of went dark. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess maybe I have to open the door and close it again to see what it's showing. 39 minutes to 100%, but I'm not going to charge to 100%. I'm only going to charge up to 80, just to see what kind of time I get to 80. I don't have that kind of time to charge to 80, so we'll at least it's staying up above 100 kilowatt per hour. So it's decent. It would be nice if it was at 120 to 130 range, on a 150 kilowatt charging stall CCS charger. But I will test out some other chargers using 350, and when the temperature is a little bit warmer, maybe it's just a little bit too cold for this car to go all the way up to 130, 140. But we'll check back in soon when it's all up to one. So after about a couple of minutes, it has dropped down to 94 kilowatts. It was very steady at 102, and now it's down to 94. Maybe, the battery just needs some time to ramp up again. But it was extremely steady at 102, bouncing around 102, 103. Now it's down to 93, 94, 93, 94. It's been hovering there. So let's see if it settles over here. Maybe it goes up. I'll report back. So after going from 102 back to 94, and it stayed at 94 for about, I would say, couple of minutes, it went all the way back up to 131. And for the last, I would say, 30 seconds, it's been at this speed, which is what I would expect. So maybe just the battery needs a little bit warming up to do before it ramps up. But definitely, I have read reviews where this car, compared to others like the ID4 or the Mustang Mach-E, would have, go up or down or not, ramp up in charging speeds. But it is showing 132 kilowatts right now, and showing about 6 minutes from 68% all the way up to 80. So we'll see if it sustains here, or if it changes back down. Let's see how long it stays here for at 132. This is what I would expect for a car that's ready to go up to 350. Now that's there is some heat loss there, so I wouldn't expect it to go all the way to 350, but at least 250 to 300 range. So but on 150, getting 132, that's expected, and I'm happy to show that the car eventually got there. So hopefully it stays there. It's been here for about a minute. Let's see how long it lasts. So as we approach 80% over here, we're at 79, charging for about 15 minutes. It did go down from 130, went down to 115, 110, 90, and it's at 92 right now. And we went from 49% all the way up to 80% in about 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Just clicked over, and there we go. We're 80%, 16 minutes from 49 to 80. And I'm going to stop this right now. So that's stopped. And thank God I had free charging from Electrify America for 2 years, because for 16 minutes at 43 cents per kilowatt hour, it would have cost me $11. Way to close the trunk. Sorry, I just cut off there. Is just press the button. That's the better way to close the charging port. But once again, so 16 minutes, total net energy delivered 28.16 kilowatt per hour. It would have cost $13.08. I don't pay anything because I got 30 minutes of free charging with Electrify America that comes with the car. So where I live, it is this charger is about 30 minutes from my house. 10 minutes from my house, and with traffic about 20 minutes. So I would have to, depending on my driving, I would have to charge it once per week. And about a 16-minute trip to charge it, it is not too bad. It's certainly doable. So I'm not too ecstatic about the charging speeds that I got today, but I will test some more. It's showing at 80% the range to be 224 miles. The other thing I mentioned earlier is that people say that EVs are cheap. Well, I'm not so sure about that, because you are paying the upfront cost, and if you have to pay for electricity out of pocket, it's still substantially cheaper than gas, but it's not free, right? Unless you get free charging somewhere, it's not going to be that cost effective. It will take you longer to ROI on this. So so that's my first experience charging an EV, first ever EV. I've never owned an EV before. My friends, they have a Tesla Model Y. I've been wanting an EV since forever now, but since I never had the charger at home, and the charging infrastructure in New York City and Long Island is one of the worst in the whole United States, considering we live in a metropolitan area. You would expect that it would be good, but it's not that great. So Electrify America is what I'm relying on for my charging needs. For the most part, I'm not going to be charging at home because I don't have a charger, and B, I don't want to pay for electricity when I can charge for free. So I plan to charge once per week, and that should be more than enough to sustain my need. And I've been driving in eco mode, which turns this car into just, I believe, rear wheel drive mode, and turns off and gives you a little bit of range. So far, okay with the range. We went from 100% to 46%, and drove about, I would say, 130 miles, because the car had about 16 miles on it. So it was around 3 miles per kilowatt hour, which isn't that great. It's not that bad either. So